Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of the Excalibur Roundtable Tech Talks. This is our special edition on Meet Our Knights of the Round Table. So we have the opportunity to meet the team members that make up the knights that are Excalibur, the wonderful consultants and architects that you have a chance to work with. I'm joined today by Scott Valler. Scott's one of our senior architects and consultants. Scott, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks, Mike, for having me.
Yeah, and so one of the things that we're doing with this series is, let's learn a little bit about the Knights of the Round Table, the folks that make up our team. So tell me a little bit about your background in IT. I know you kind of have a storied history in IT that goes way back, like mine does.
Yeah, I've been around a few days. The gray is starting to show. So IT, my story in IT is a little different than most. I started out as a mechanical engineer years and years ago, and found myself in the IT space just because we were supporting the engineering firms that I worked in, and I always enjoyed that. So, and long before that, my very first computer was a Texas Instrument TI-84 that we soldered together with a black and white TV and a RF modulator, and a membrane keyboard, which half people have no idea what that is, but that was the beginning of IT. Um, I've walked from my path in IT predominantly has been everything from the service desk, desktop support. I've been a systems administrator. I've been a network engineer. I've been a manager in IT. I've been the director of IT operations for the Americas for a Fortune 500 company. Yeah, so I have run my own hardware support company here in the Kansas City area for a number of years. Um, I got back into the corporate IT with a large healthcare corporation here in Kansas City, one of the largest home healthcare and hospice organizations, and found my way into ITSM from the software support standpoint with HP Service Manager. Found that to be an interesting space. I really liked the design and the implementation of the ITSM tools. Having had all of the background for service delivery from everything from the service desk all the way through for all of IT operations. And I found that really intriguing, especially the customization of it, because I've been doing coding and scripting, almost all of my IT career, and for fun on the side. I always enjoyed that aspect of it. So the ITSM tools allowed me to really explore a lot more of that. And then we kind of moved into the Cherwell space as a customer years ago. What was that? Version 4, I think, is when we came in. They were selling 3 at the time, and we got in. They just transitioned into 4.2 when we came on, I think it was at the time. So almost 11 years ago. I was a Cherwell customer for an exceptionally long time. We had a huge organization. We were 156,000 employees, 600 I think we're about 640 sites at the time, 5 divisions. Um, just a huge implementation with tons of integration, just in utilizing Cherwell across the organization, everywhere that we had business processes that were very clearly defined and followed a strict flow that you could implement a solid business process in. We pulled them into Cherwell if it made sense, if the tool fit really well. And I really enjoyed that. And then, when I met you guys, here at Excalibur, and was really intrigued with the opportunity to move into a role where I could help other people explore ITSM and move into Cherwell. And I loved Cherwell. So for me, that was just an awesome opportunity to be able to help people find a way to use a tool that could expand what they could do and give them essentially almost unlimited opportunity with where you could go with it. Your imagination really was the bounds for where Cherwell could take you. And so what I've been doing this, a little more than 6 years now with Excalibur. And it has been, to me, it's just intriguing. Every customer I meet, the style and how they approach things has been very engaging. I like it. It's given me new ways to see how things work, new opportunities, and everybody I meet has great ideas. So it's just every engagement is just the opportunity to grow and see things in a new way. And I love what I do. It's awesome.
Well, as we've talked about, so often at the team here at Excalibur, it's bringing that kind of that culmination of all of that experience, having walked a mile in so many different, roles. Here at Excalibur, we have folks that have served in multiple roles all the way up to CIO, director of IT operations, and being able to take all that experience, and in working with the customers, it's not merely implementing a package, but it's having a good understanding of how that operational stuff occurs, and being able to bring that experience, from having seen it done a couple of ways, and in many cases helping our customers avoid the mistakes or potholes, that we've seen others fall into or that we ourselves fell into. I always give my speech to customers on SLAs, right? The team Excalibur loves the Mike's SLA soapbox, right? Where SLAs were something I used, at a managerial level to really understand what was going on and why they can be important. And so I think your background, is a good example of, how we're able to deliver exceptional solutions to customers, because it's not just merely implementing the software, knowing the software, it's understanding the stuff that really makes up that the triangle of success, because you've got people, process, and tool, right? We know the
Yeah.
tool, we know process, then we can help you understand how to make your people leverage that really, really well. So Scott, you mentioned you live in Kansas City. So is that Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri?
I live in Kansas City, Kansas, and most people think of Kansas City, Missouri. You know, the difference is a yellow line down the middle of the road because you can't tell that you're going from one city to the other. You know, we're what 1.2 million people for our Kansas City general metropolitan area. It's reasonably good sized, pretty spread out. You know, and cover I think what 6 counties. It lays over all together, 5 or 6 counties. It's really spread out the metropolitan area. Have a tremendous amount of surface area. I love it. I've been here 25 years now, so I've lived in 12 states around the country. I've visited every state except for Alaska, so I need to get a job up there so I can give that a whirl. But
Yeah,
keep coming
my
back to
two that are
Kansas
left are
City.
the Dakotas. I have the Dakotas to do yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did make it to Alaska, but I haven't done the two Dakotas yet.
Okay. Yeah, so we hit North and South Dakota just this last fall when we went
Oh
up to
yeah,
the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Went up there and did some backpacking up there. That was just beautiful.
and that is
That
that is one of your hobbies, right?
oh
Is
yes,
is 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 hiking and backpacking, and Scott and I are both outdoor enthusiasts, and so we're always comparing notes on. Did you see that hammock from XYZ company, or different things? And you really have taken it to another level.
yeah. So with with Scouts, we've been involved in Scouts for I don't know ever since my oldest son was able to get into Scouts as a Tiger Cub. God, that was years ago. We're still actively involved in Scouts, and so a lot of that, with our Scout troop here in Kansas City area, a lot of it's just pretty much just car camping and smaller camping. But a couple of years ago, I got into backpacking, gave it a whirl, and just got hooked. And so I have acquired a tremendous amount of ultralight gear. I've been doing a lot more backpacking, taking longer trips. Planning to do. I'm going to hike rim to rim the Grand Canyon. Hopefully this coming September. That's on the plan if I can get a permit. And then I'm really hoping to hike the Pacific Crest Trail next year. See if I can get that, and that'll be a challenge to try to fit in here. But that is the goal. Try to do something that really challenges me and forces me to overcome some obstacles that I don't normally encounter. But I love backpacking. It's great because I get outside, I get to just enjoy nature and relax, and I find it tremendously calming. When I get back, irrelevant of how hard it is, like when we did Philmont, we were out there for 11 days, and I don't know, we did what, almost 80 miles, and hiked to the top of Mount Baldy. Did the 12,400-foot ascent on that. That was tiring, but it was just invigorating at the same time. It was just an incredible experience. I would love to do that again. So, you know,
Well,
but
excuse me, I understand you're into aviation as well.
yeah, so I have my private pilot's license. I've had that for a number of years. Love to fly. Right now, I'm working on trying to get my tail dragger sign off, which is basically a tail wheel airplane certification, so that I can fly those. And then gonna start taking some aerobatic lessons,
Oh.
purely for fun. It's all for me. But there's nothing like flying. If you ever get up in a small plane and you get 3,000 or 4,000 feet off the ground, you can still see everything, but it changes your perspective. You realize that you exist in the world and that you're part of it, but you're also a small piece of it. You interact with it, but it's not the same perspective as being on the ground where it seems like everything you interact with, you are the master of. When you fly, you realize that you're part of the puzzle and that your interactions are important, but yet the world is much larger than you. It's different than being at 40,000 feet looking out the window. It's kind of for me, it was interesting. Something I noticed the more I fly.
Well, Scott, I want to thank you for joining me today, and sharing a little bit about that, which is Scott Valler. Um, for our audience that's watching, stay tuned for more episodes as we talk to other Knights of the Round Table, and you get to learn a little bit about the team that makes up what is just a fantastic group of folks that is Excalibur Data Systems. So, Scott, thank you, and we look forward to talking again.
Thanks, Mike. Have an awesome day.